Hello, everybody. This is Amanda Cooper with Cola Daily, and in the studio with me today, I have Jimmy Derrick and his beautiful wife, Laura Derrick. They're here to talk about the Pink Bow fashion show that's coming up April 27th at the Central, I believe that's what it's called, Central Energy Building, right over in the Bull Street District. And the fashion show is to raise funds for a very important, there's something that's very important to your family, and it's called Madelyn's Fund. And I want you all to share your story about the why behind the fund and the importance of having the fundraiser this year. I believe it'll be the first in Columbia, and why it's so near and dear to your heart.
We'll be happy to tell that story. As a matter of fact, our daughter Rachel and her husband Andy Lee, who happens to be the National Football League All-Pro punter, he's been in the National Football League for over 19 years. They had a little girl named Madelyn. She had swallowed a little bit of fluid when she was born, and this was during flu season. And so they put her in the NICU up in Charlotte. And on the 6th day in the NICU, she somehow or other caught some type of an infection. And they gave her antibiotics for that infection. And it knocked her platelets down. And on the 8th day, she passed away. So, 2 years later, Andy and Rachel decided that they wanted to give back to the community and people who had this type of an experience. So they started Madelyn's Fund up in Charlotte, North Carolina. They've been doing Madelyn's Fund for over 6 years. They have raised over $1 million. They have buried over 230 babies and children who needed to have a proper funeral. They provide gas cards, hotel rooms, food cards for folks who have children in the NICU. And as a matter of fact, you don't really think about the fact that you're going to have a child in the NICU, and it's very, very expensive, and also the fact that it's very draining on your family because you want to be there, and you got to work, and you got to go home, and you probably got other children at home too that you have to take care of. So it's a very, very trying time in a parent's life.
And a grandparent's life.
And the grandparents too.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, was this their first child?
This was her third child. This was the finishing of her family. She has two boys who are very healthy, Ryan and Adam. And as a matter of fact, they were with us on Saturday. And so it was the end. It would be the little girl that would be the end of their family. So.
Wow. You know, Mr. and Mrs. Derrick, can I call you Laura?
Please,
okay.
please.
You know, Jimmy and Laura, your story connects with so many people. You know, they go in thinking it's going to end one way, and tragically it ends up another way. Right. But one thing I find is that tragedy oftentimes births new triumphs for other people. It's almost like the blessing is passed forward, and that's what Madelyn's Fund has done for so many people. You said that the fund has raised over $1 million.
Yes.
Wow,
that is
so
correct.
Impressive in 6 years. Plus, it's helped multiple families, hundreds of families actually, help bury their loved ones.
That is correct.
How does that make you feel knowing your granddaughter's legacy is being lived through this fund?
Overwhelmed and very humbled. I never would have imagined the good that has come out of this, because tragically a lot of young couples, and they were young at the time, they still are, but they don't make it. You know, it's hard. It's hard enough to have a sick child, but to lose one is extremely hard. So, yeah. And then to give back like they've done is I'm very, very proud. And
it does take people to a place. It either grows you apart or grows you closer. Right. But it seems like your children and your son-in-law have really used this to help other people. And you're going to also be a part of that process. You're hosting the first ever fundraiser here in Columbia.
Right. The Madelyn's Fund will remain in Charlotte, and we're expanding it to Columbia. And so we'll be hosting the first Pink Bow fashion show sponsored by Jim Hudson Automobile. And so it's going to be a really fun event. We have lots of sponsors. We have it'll be an exciting time. We're going to auction off clothing, men's and women, and some other things also, I'm sure. We've got some other people who have provided things for us to auction, and it's going to be a fun night with a little bit of drink and food and a good time.
A lot of fun.
Well, you know, as grandparents, how did you guys get involved with hosting this inaugural event in Columbia?
Well,
We can't say no to our daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she asked us to do a small event, and of course, nothing's small when it comes to Jimmy. So
She asked us if we would have a little cocktail party at our house and introduce Madelyn's Fund to some people. And that next night, my good friend of 50 years calls me up and Von Granger with Granger Owens and says, you know, my business model is changing a little bit, and I would like to do an old-fashioned fashion show, and I would like for you to auction off the clothes, and I would like to give the money to a particular charity, and I don't know which charity to go to. And I said, well, I got the charity, and I'll be ready to do the auction. And so from there, it has grown into a major event. We feel like we have a goal of amount of money that we want to raise, and we're getting pretty close to that. So we're very excited about what we can do. And this is not a one-shot deal. We will continue to have this event every year. Also up in Charlotte, in addition to an event and an auction, they also do a golf tournament and they do a tennis tournament. So as Madelyn Fund grows in Columbia, hopefully we will be able to go into those type of events also to raise more money for this, what we think is just an unbelievable cause.
I feel like it's an unbelievable cause. Like I said, it's our stories that connect us. And you're a licensed auctioneer. How does this feel, using your best skills to really help fund your grandbaby's legacy?
Well, it's a lot of fun. It's unusual. I've been a salesman all my life. And it's a different way of selling because you're using both your voice, your eyes, and your ears. And we have some very accomplished ring persons who help me with the auction, and we've been able to raise a lot of money through this. We do other charities in Columbia also as an auctioneer, but it's just a lot of fun, and it's a great cause.
I can see now. If they wink an eye or flip a finger,
you better not raise.
And you're the one.
If you raise your hand, you bought it. So.
Well, I absolutely love it. I'm super excited. I saw the advertisement for it. And it's just so exciting. You have DJ, I believe, Puff from the Gamecocks.
From Gamecock Ladies Basketball.
Yes. It's being sponsored by Jim Hudson Automotive, or presented by Jim Hudson Automotive.
Correct.
Group, as well as a lot of other hosts of wonderful companies throughout the Midlands. And you also have this fabulous clother that's auctioning off clothes and donating the money back. Can you tell us a little bit about the fashion show? Can you give us just a little bit of inside secrets about what's going to be on display?
Well, I know for one example, Peter Millar is a men's brand that has become very, very popular. If you watched the golf tournament yesterday, you probably saw some of those golfers with Peter Millar outfits on. Okay. And so they are participating. And of course, the women's clothing, also Deborah Granger heads up the women's clothing at Granger Owens. And so we've got 6 very nice, pretty models, and female, and then 6 handsome men that'll be auctioning, and we'll be auctioning off what they have on. And if it's a size problem, we can get whatever size you need. So if you are a large, and the model happens to be a small, that's okay. We can get what you need in a large, no problem.
Awesome. You hear that, ladies? All sizes can be customized to your size.
That is correct. That is correct.
So is it their spring collection?
It'll be the spring and summer collection, yes.
Wow, how exciting is that? How does this feel?
Well, it makes me feel really good. Laura and I both have been working very hard at this, and it just gets me going. Once upon a time, I used to own a real estate company called Century 21 Bob Capes Realtors, and we raised over $1 million for Children's Hospital back in the day. I was chairman of the board of Children's Hospital at the old Palmetto Richland, and so after 14 years, I decided to retire from that and just do charity auctions, but now we're back, and I've got my juices going again, and we're back out there raising money and for a good cause. all the parents have to do is get with the social worker at Prisma in NICU and just say, hey, look, we might need a little help, and they just apply through Madelyn's Fund. And to the best of my knowledge, Madelyn's Fund has never turned down anybody.
Wow, so this is not just for people in Charlotte. You're raising money for people here in the Midlands as well.
Everything we raise here is going to stay in the Midlands,
nice.
Period.
Yes.
So that's why we hope to grow it like it's grown in Charlotte.
Yeah.
All the money stays in the Midlands.
Well, that's outstanding. And what's the website?
Madelyn'sFund.org.
At madelynsfund.org. We will make sure that everyone knows that. And is the process pretty simple? They just go to their social worker, whoever's working with them at the hospital, let them know of their need, and then they can connect them to the Madelyn's Fund website, or do they directly go themselves?
Either way.
Oh,
Yes.
wow, that's fantastic. And
try to make it as streamlined as possible.
I think this is just such a fantastic thing that you're doing in your grandbaby's legacy. You know, as a grandmother and a mother yourself, what do you say to a mother out there, you know, that might be struggling? How did you comfort your daughter?
I think the best way is you listen and you make sure they know you're there for them. That's the biggest ways, is just to listen. Put an arm, give them a hug, you know, give them a shoulder to cry on. That's the best.
And I think God has a whole lot to do
Prayer life, yeah.
with praying
Absolutely.
and understanding that apparently this was in His plan.
Yeah.
It wasn't in our plan,
Yeah.
but it was in His plan. And so you just have to understand that, and then you just have to roll with it and do what you can do afterwards, and just continue to pray.
Wow, you know, I'm so glad to have you here today. I think the story that your son-in-law and your daughter went through it was unfortunate, but it is fortunate that they turned, like I said earlier, their tragedy into triumph to help so many people.
Right.
And that's why I'm so excited that you're having this event today. It's Madelyn's Fund, and it's called the Pink Bow Fashion Show Fundraiser.
Yes.
It's going to be April 27th.
Yes.
That's correct.
What's the time?
6 to 10.
6 to 10.
And it's at the Central Energy Building, which is very nice.
Oh, I've done auctions there before, and it's a great time to have an auction in April. We're hoping the weather will be good and we can get those garage doors open and we can have a really good time. Our son-in-law, Andy Lee, again, the all-pro punter, he's with the Arizona Cardinals. He said it's nothing like signing a birth certificate and a death certificate in one day. Just tragic. But they've turned around and they've made it something that's just overwhelmingly good.
Yes.
And it's just been blessed.
And there's such a need.
Yeah.
So get your tickets online,
Yes.
madelynsfund.org, and you go to the events. Click on that, get your tickets.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here today. Your story has touched so many people. I know it's touched me, and I'm excited to support this cause, and I look forward to celebrating and to helping you raise funds for Madelyn's Funds.
Well, good. And we hope to see you that night, okay? April 27th, okay? I'll find you in the audience. You might buy some.
I'll be like, I got it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you so much. Make sure you visit coladaily.com to find out more information on how you can purchase your ticket and be a part of helping this family help millions across the Midlands.